Alright, this is Sierra Game Scott. Hope everybody's doing well. And this is an introductory video to what will be my latest LP. And if we get to DOSBox, let's roll the game. Alright, and so as you can tell from the screen that we have here, I will be LPing Quest for Glory, Shadows of Darkness, also known as Quest for Glory 4. I'm not sure why they left off the episode or installment number for the title screen, but they did. I'm actually doing something a little bit different. Usually my rule is I try to LP things that are unique, that haven't, if they've been done before, at least they haven't been done, in my opinion, particularly well or by an LPer I particularly enjoy. This is a complete violation of that rule because the best LP I've ever seen, bar none I think, is Late Blade and Her Crabbiness's LP of Quest for Glory, Shadows of Darkness, and it's actually on Late Blade's channel, which is linked from my YouTube channel. If you are going to watch one LP of Quest for Glory, Shadows of Darkness, as much as I'd love it to be mine, it probably should be theirs. However, if you're going to watch two, and I hope if you've already watched theirs or want to watch two simultaneously, hopefully we'll have a good time going through this game together. Why am I departing? Well, I really love Shadows of Darkness. It's probably my favorite game. It used to be Quest for Glory 2. I think Shadows of Darkness, in hindsight, has become my favorite game. It's a really mature plot. It has great character development, and I think it's a game that you'll really enjoy the LP, and I think I'll really enjoy doing it, which is always a good recipe for a good time together. I think it'll also be something that we can expand over a course of several months because it's such a lengthy game. I'm not sure how many videos there'll be. The Quest for Glory 3 videos I did, or LP I did, spanned 30 plus videos. Because I can put more time, or pardon me, that I can make my videos of a greater length now, probably around 15 to 20 minutes will be the length of these videos. It may not be as long as a Quest for Glory 3, probably will be equal, maybe even more, because I think it's a slightly longer game, but it'll definitely be a lot more time intensive, that's for sure. And the reason I'm not, I was originally planning to think that I would LP or replay, Let's Replay Quest for Glory 3, because some people have asked for me to do it with all the dialogue, with all the text. I kind of summarized it the first time I did it. It was the first LP I did, and the reason I'm not doing that, and the reason why I'm doing this, is one, to do something new, at least new for me, and two, because there really isn't a lot of variation in the game playing it again, whereas there is a little bit of variation, or a considerable amount of variation, depending on the character you use in Quest for Glory 4 Shadows of Darkness. And the reason why I feel somewhat comfortable doing another LP, even though Late Blade, Her Crabbiness did a great job, is that they went the Paladin route. Now the Paladin, I think, is probably the best character in the game, and this is probably the best game for the Paladin, but other characters actually have some unique solutions and some unique avenues they can take throughout this game, and we're going to play the character of the Thief. And the Thief actually has some pretty cool things that we can see that you may not have seen before, may not have known about, and so we'll take that route. Unlike other Quest for Glory games, particularly 1 and 2, you can't really play all the characters at once and do everything, and pretty much play all 3 scenarios. You really have to choose, particularly with the Paladin, because his honor can take a hit, particularly actually if he takes the Thief route, or tries to take the Thief route if he can. So they had to choose a little bit, and so some of the scenes were skipped, not because they weren't creating a complete LP, but because they weren't choosing that character. We're going to go down the route of taking the Thief character, and I think we're going to have an interesting experience. One thing I should say, I do like this game a lot, and one of the reasons I mentioned that I like the game so much was because it is more mature, more of an adult game, and that's true in all senses, I'd say. It's great that they have a real great story arc, that they have real great character development here. However, the game is not necessarily appropriate for everyone. A lot of you have written into me saying you have nieces, nephews, children, younger friends, etc., who've enjoyed the LPs, and you've been able to expose them to CR games as a result. I don't know if this is the best one for that, just because the game is a little bit it's on the darker side, emphasizes macabre themes. The occult is a large component of it, and so it can be frightening at times. I mean, even as a 30-year-old man, there's some components of this game that actually give me the creeps at times. So I'll try to warn you as best I can if something's going to be particularly frightening, particularly scary, and it may not be the best video for them. But obviously it's up to your discretion. But I did want to present that warning to begin with. The other item is the game, as I mentioned, is adult in every way. It doesn't go into anything that's egregiously offensive, I would think. But it does push the line a lot more than other CR games, particularly other Quest for Glory games. And I'm not going to go overboard in trying to censor borderline material. I'll give warnings if necessary beforehand, just to be complete. As many of you have know, I try to censor, cut out swears. I don't try to play games that are particularly offensive. I do try to keep the channel clean for a number of reasons, and a number of you have expressed appreciation. Some of you might find it silly, but you know, that's just the course I'm going to take with this channel, and have taken this channel. And there is one scene here, as some of you may know what I'm talking about. There's a monster known as the Ryzolka, and her fable, her legend behind her, is that she lures men to their death by drowning, and she does so by enticing them, and by enticing them she appeals to their prurient interests, and that means a Ryzolka, the artwork, pardon me, for Ryzolka is rather revealing. Some of you obviously might find it silly, especially in this day and age, with all sorts of material available. Well, that's worse than that on YouTube and elsewhere, but just for the sake of keeping this as PG as possible, I am the thief doesn't really have to interact with her, so I'm going to either skip it, or if there's anything small I have to do with her, it'll just be done off the screen. I'll let you know about it. The Paladin does have a quest that specifically deals with her, but like I said, I'm just going to avoid that for purposes of keeping the channel just a little bit more on the clean side, more on the PG side, and so that's why we're going to take that route. But I think besides that, hopefully everybody will enjoy the LP, and I am looking forward to delving into it. I think we'll come back to this screen here and add the points and attributes as we get into the actual LP video, as we get into the first video of gameplay. But I do hope you enjoy it. The music may be a little soft right now too. That was by design, because I didn't want to have a situation like Ben Jordan where the music was kind of blaring and that it's harder to hear me. I tried one video actually of that and it wasn't working out quite as I wanted. So I figure let's have the music quieter now. I'll play around with it so it'll be a little louder when we enter the game, so you don't miss anything. I am not playing the CD version of the game. As I mentioned, this game is a great game. Biggest problem of it is a lot of technical glitches many of you may know about. Those are mostly on the CD version. I don't think they're on this version, or it's at least going to be a patch or something they can use to fix things if we run into trouble. That does leave out some of the voices, the character acting, which is good, but that's always hard to play around with too, with the sound. And so I'm going to stick to doing the voices. Hopefully I can do a decent job of the character acting. Probably skipping some of the female voices, just because my voice is kind of low. It doesn't really suit well to try to emulate a female voice, so unfortunately probably won't be able to do too much in that arena. But I'll read all the text, I'll read all the dialogue. It won't be like Quest for Glory 3 where I'll just summarize things. We'll actually go through all of it. It'll take a little longer, but it's a great game. I want to do a good job of it, and I hope you'll come back and join me. I think it'll be a good time. I think it'll take up a lot of time, so hopefully it's something you'll look forward to. I'm looking forward to it, and I believe this will be a great LP. So until next video, when we get into the game, this is CR Games Scott, signing off.